Alrighty, today's Wednesday, the 2nd of March, 2016, and I'm just going to look at the ASX200 daily chart. So, interesting things happening, and I thought I'd just I was going to post this, but I thought, it's going to be a little bit confusing. So I'll kind of explain and walk through what I'm looking at, what I think is going to happen. And then where we go to from there. All right. So you can see this is the daily chart here. We're currently right at this level here. So we've rallied. Right. We've pushed through. We've kind of just broken through the previous high. So that's a good sign. Okay. So if we can close above this level by the end of the day, as in the end of the day being the close of the futures market. Then this is going to continue on. Okay. What you're going to remember is, all these moves are not accidental. It is kind of random, but it's not. So if you actually look back in the past, you'll notice that there's a lot of similar moves. Okay, not exactly the same, obviously, but very similar. All right, very similar. You'll know what I mean. If you look at this stuff a bit more. But so what I've done is the first thing I did was I had to look. I usually look for patterns, right? So I usually look for these advanced patterns that we get here, right? And so far, like straight away, I saw a potential bat pattern, right? A reversal pattern, right? So that completed at about this level here, right? Which is the, say, 5285, right? So if price does go back up there, then that's a definite sell signal for me. So I'll be looking to get in to sell the market down. Okay, so that's the first signal. The second thing I did was I tried to look for confluence, right? So confluence is basically like when you've got multiple ratio numbers or basically multiple signals, right? Sell signals, all roughly around that same level, okay? In this case, I'm using Fibonacci numbers, all right? So if you don't know much about Fibonacci, there's a lot of information online about that. But I'm using the Fibonacci number sequence to find these ratio confluence levels of confluence, right? What I found was the first level, the one that had the most was this level here, right? Had multiple levels of confluence, right? When you see these levels, that means that there's something that's attracting price there, okay? Or there might be something there might be resistance there, right? That's a sign that we might see some kind of reaction, okay? Doesn't happen all the time. You can always go right through that, but it's an important level to take note of, okay? I've got the same similar signals around here too. So you got these key Fibonacci numbers around this level too. So that's an also, and because that lines up with the pattern here, that provides a bit more, evidence, right? The other thing I did was to look for ABCD patterns, right? So we've got the ABC. So you got A to B, and then B to C, right? And then technically this level should be, if I do it properly, hold on. I think that's it. Oh, nope. We'll just try and get the one again. I probably won't clone. I'll probably just draw it. Just want to make sure because I want to get the correct length. Okay. So this is what was there. So what I'm doing is I was doing a copy and paste. And I'm just putting from the leg that I drew from down here. So it gives me a level up here, right? Now, just important to note that just because it lines up with this doesn't mean that it's a trade. I don't use the ABCD button to say ABCD pattern to say, yep, if I get ABCD pattern, it lines up somewhere, then I'm going to take the trade. It doesn't work like that, right? It's just used as an indicator, right? Along with many other indicators, okay? The other thing also is I like to look at trend lines, right? I find them really important. And there's heaps of ways of using it, right? But for this example, what I'm going to show you is how I can look for this trend line and use that as an indicator to look for big moves. Okay. So I've drawn a line from here connecting these highs here, right? Now you notice that every time it touches it, you get a big move down, big signal move, right? Same thing with here, you get a big straight move down, right? Now these moves are big as well, these ones here, they're quite big actually, but we're looking at the daily chart, okay? So we're not looking at the lower time frame, like the 4 hour or the 1 hour. But, you know, again, like you've got all this confluence at this level here, right, that I showed you before. You've got a potential trend line that where if price does go down to that level, go up to this level, you might get a big reaction, okay? Maybe. Nothing's for sure, okay? On top of that, there are a couple of other signals as well you can use. I'm actually just seeing a few things now. You've also got RSI, you know, potentially moving to the old oversold level, okay? And again, every time we hit the RSI, we hit the oversold, we had some negative divergence or bearish divergence, okay? Here we had hidden bearish divergence as well, right? This one's more hidden divergence. I don't know, doesn't matter. The bottom line is we've got divergence, okay? Here, if you look, zoom in more, you look like we're going to get some bearish divergence as well, okay? So that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Now, what else was I going to show you? Yeah, also, you know, there is a chance that we might go up to there, all right? We might just retrace back down. We might actually reverse here, right? Go back down to retrace down to this level here. And then we might have a reaction, all right? And we might go back up to there, and then that's it. What I find is that, you know, when we expect it to reverse at a certain level, right? When the majority of the crowd is all thinking that it's going to, like, you know, for example, if everyone's expecting that it's going to like reverse here, right? What it usually does is it does that, plays around a bit, flirts around with the these levels, you know, just basically just, you know, just testing the newbie traders versus the experienced traders and so forth, and then it will go down, right? It will go down, but then all of a sudden you'll see this breakaway and it comes back up again, breaks these levels here, and then it looks for new highs. At this point, all the newbie traders start going in and thinking that, oh, okay, well, maybe we're going to keep going up, right? But by the time they get in, it's already right here, right? They should have, if they were going to get in, it would have been the latest they should have got in is about here. And they would have gone in there and then caught the ride, and all of a sudden the market just completely reverses, and this, at this point, it's not doing this anymore. It's going to completely reverse, right? So this could be the scenario of what could happen. So I'm just showing that to you. I wouldn't recommend you try that because it's easier said than done, right? You might look at this and think, okay, well, that's not too bad. But once you're actually in the trade, okay, you'll find you'll get a lot of tunnel vision, right? You'll completely forget fundamentals, logic, anything, even basic decision making. So I wouldn't recommend it. I just wanted to show you, and then if you can try it out. But you know, yeah, give that a go. Now, so that's what I think is going to happen. So I think we're still going to keep getting a push up until today and tomorrow. We might get a reversal here, but I wouldn't say that that's the end, right? We might still see some capitulation up. And then we will see the final high. Okay. Same thing with this. See how you got everyone thinking that it's going to reverse down there, it goes back down, and pulls back up, and comes back down again. Same thing for all this as well. The price never goes straight down. Never does. If it does, you'll know. Also, it's like I said from the beginning. I said that you know, price likes to. You'll find these patterns repeat itself in the market a lot. All right. Say for this example here, right? This move here, right? This is all pretty much the same as that. I'll show you why. All right. Okay. So let me just see. You got the down move, okay, right? And you see how you got, you know, you've got some retracements there. This is the same move, right? This is not exactly the same, but you know, relatively, you can't look at it as being exactly the same all the time. Then you get a retracement, goes back up, right? Same thing here, goes back up. Sorry, let me just double check that. Yeah. Okay, and then you get this move down, same thing there, right? And then you get the move up, and that's where we are now, and here we are now, okay? So assuming that this happens, then we should see the similar capitulation up, okay? Now, like I said, it's not going to be exactly the same. You kind of have to be, it's kind of like experience, just by looking at this stuff, then you kind of see these moves happening. But that's just something, you know, it shouldn't be used as a confirmation to look at entering a trade. It's just a guide, okay? And okay, so where are we going to go to? All right, so I'm not going to go through every single technique as to finding these targets, right? I can tell you right now though that this move is going to be a big move, okay? Now if I go to the weekly, I'll show you what I mean. Oh, sorry, it might not be even the Aussie market, it might be a different one. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a new chart. Okay. All right. So, slow to. All right. So, okay. So where are we going to go to? Right, there's heaps of different techniques I can find these levels. Right, we're currently here. Right, the first level we're going to test is about this level. So that's a done deal. We're going to test this level. All right, these are the bottoms. Okay. Now you'll notice that between this level here and that, there's really not much to look at. Right, there is some structure we can look at. But relatively pretty weak. It's pretty weak, not really anything exciting to look at. So if we do break this level here, right, you're looking at a pretty big fast move down to this level here, right? So between that, you're looking at about, 390 point drop. It's not going to happen in 2 seconds. It's not going to happen in 1 day. What I'm saying is that it's going to be a faster move than we're used to. Okay, that's what I think. Okay. Now, if it breaks below that, we're looking at a faster move as well. So, look, I think we're going to see. I think this is going to be I think we're going to see the ASX at pretty low. I think we're going to see it between now and next year, end of the year maybe, we'll probably see it at the 3,500s, right? I wouldn't be trying to pick the bottoms in this market at all, right? This is not a normal market, right? This is not your boom and bust cycle, okay? This is something else that's not, we haven't experienced before, all right? So with that, I'll leave it at that. Hopefully that helps. And again, you can use this technique on any market. It can be a currency pair, it can be futures market, it could be the E-minis, it could be the oil market. It doesn't matter. Using the same technique over and over again. Okay. All right. Thanks. Talk to you guys soon.